week 7 lecture. When we see this is week 7 and lecture number 13, so you can understand what are we going to discuss in today's lecture. So today's lecture is basically on the continuation of the previous lectures, and it's job participation, empowerment, and motivation. How an employee in an organization gets an opportunity to participate in the job, and what kind of opportunities the organization is providing to empower an employee and enhance the motivation level or the otherwise. So the learning outcomes will be you as course participants will be able to develop your own understanding of job participation, empowerment, and motivation. And secondly, how does motivation, empowerment, and job participation enable you as an employee to achieve desirable results of the job? So this is how we will focus on today's lecture. So hopefully we will be able to get the learning outcomes at the end of this lecture. Before thoroughly looking at the details of the participation, let's explore what is actually the meaning of participation is all about. For example, if you say job participation, this is something, a space where employee gets a chance to make decisions about the work that the employee is working. So this is the process of giving employee a voice in making decisions about their own work. So if your organization has developed a culture that encourages the employee to make decisions about the work that employee is doing. So this sort of situation in terms of organizational behavior means job participation. The employee is making decisions, wise decisions, based on his or her own work related things. So participation here means giving or providing a space to employees to make decisions based on the nature of the work and its context specific limitations. So that's very, very important to understand what are the context specific limitations which needs to be understood about why to take some decisions, why not to take some other decisions regarding the work that is an employee is doing. So in a very briefly manner, you can say job participation is a process of engaging an employee, a worker, with his or her own job and and enable that employee to make decisions regarding the work living within the limitations and contextual realities of the work in the organization. So that is called job participation. How this enables you, when we look at the other learning outcomes, another learning outcome of this lecture, how this participation helps an employee to make wise decisions means when you will be given a chance to participate in your work in a very excellent manner, in a very encouraging manner, so that encouragement leads that employee to feel comfortable, motivated, and enhances the performance. If you in your own work, in terms of job participation, are not allowed to make some decisions at your own level. So this means that your creativity, your innovative skills are stopped. So you will just only look at what to do and how to do, how your job. So that's how that dictating sort of situation in your organizations discourage employees, and they limit their motivation towards their performance. So therefore, if the organization provides you enough space to understand your work, and based on understanding your work, if you make wise decisions, take initiatives, and come with some sort of creative work, so that means that you are enhancing your performance, so that you are a motivated work. So this is how you can understand what is the meaning and the context specific situations of job participation. Now coming to another important element of this uh, how to enhance motivation and this performance of an employee. Another important area is empowerment. As a manager in the organization, how the manager is behaving, how the manager is providing a culture in the organization, providing a particular opportunity in the organization that helps employees to look at their work related goals, make decisions, and solve problems which emerge while engaging with the work. For example, if you are a computer operator, for example, and you come across with some sort of technological problems, so what are the opportunities that organization is providing you to troubleshoot those kind of problems related to technological things? So who is there who can help you to address those problems, to solve those problems? What kind of encouragement is given to you to approach those people who can help you, who can solve your problems and enhance your productivity, your performance? So if these sort of opportunities are there, and the organization is continuously looking at the performance of the individuals, looking at how individuals are uh, focusing on their work related goals, and how they come with some specific sort of activities which lead them to achieve those goals, what kind of the problems which emerge while engaging with those activities, how those employees um, interact with those sort of problems, how they solve those problems, who are the people um, who help them to solve those problems, what kind of other opportunities which enable those workers to perform their task in an efficient manner. So all these kind of the things which are there in an organization, so at the same time they feel responsible for their performance, and with an authority, because they have an authority in their work, they have their own responsibility, they understand, and based on that they become innovative, creative, and make decisions to achieve those organizational goals. And in so doing, if they encounter some sort of problems, if they face any kind of difficulty in their work, there are people in the organization who can help them, who can solve their problems, and they become comfortable, and in this way day by day they are improving. So this is, we can understand, this is what the meaning of empowerment is all about. So empowerment is basically linked with capacity building. If the organization is um, working towards the capacity building of the employees, whoever in the organization are, either at the managerial level or the middle level or the lower management level. So everyone's capacity, if the organization is focusing on everyone's capacity to develop, so this means that there is an element of empowerment in that organization, and this empowerment enable those employee to become motivated workers, and they can, and a motivated worker can enhance the performance in the organization. So in this way we can understand this notion of empowerment and the notion of participation, how participation helps employee uh, effectively engage with work, how empowerment, which is linked with the capacity building, the organization is investing in the employee to enhance the capacity of the employee, and 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 how this support enables those employee to enhance the motivation level of the workers. And coming to the next segment, we see what kind of arrangements in organization which can enhance these important areas: empowerment, participation, and motivation level. So what to do? What kind of the arrangements an organization should understand to arrange? What kind of the things should be there in organization? For example, variable work schedules. What is the meaning of variable work schedule? If a manager is managing uh, the variable work schedules in the organization, and the employee work a full um 40 hours week in fewer than the traditional 5 days. So how it is possible? What kind of the things and things a manager needs to do? So how that manager will compress those 40 hours hours a week, uh, time schedule in a compressed work week? How it is possible to expand this according to the needs and demands of the employees? Is there is a possibility to enable them to go for a flexible work schedule or flexi time, you can say? So what is the benefit of this flexi time, flexible work schedule? What are the challenges? What are the drawbacks of this flexible work schedule? So if in a particular environment the manager understands the importance of variable work schedules, flexible work schedules, or job sharing, all these are the arrangements, alternative arrangements, which can enable the employees to enhance their motivation, leading towards improving their performance. If, for example, if we say flexi time, flexi time gives employee more control over the hours they work each day, because you provide a flexi time. So that flexi time means employee is a kind of more control, a kind of having more autonomy, having some sort of freedom, that the employee can pick and choose some sort of hours during the day and even the night. So and that time that employee work the office work, and covers the whole week requirement of 40 hours. Similarly, when we say job sharing, two or more part-time employees share one full-time job. For example, your organization demands a full-time job, but you you can share that full-time job with two people by providing them to give half time uh, to each of them, and then you can help those employees to enhance their performance. So how they can share these things with each other, and they get the full time job in that way. So this is in other ways, other way around. You can look at, for example, if in an organization you do not get a full-time worker, if a worker that is not available for full-time job, so you can hire two people for the same job with the same half salary, uh, half for the half of time, and you can accommodate two people, and you get the goals of the full-time job. Similarly, when we look at some more details of the flexi work schedules, so you can see here on the slide, for example, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. this is a flexi time, but if 9, when office time starts, 9 to 11 a.m., this is the core time. And similarly, 11 to in between 11 to 1, if you give the workers a flexi time, so they can use this time for for their work in a manner how to fulfill the required arrangements, required time of the week. And similarly, you can see uh, the core time, flexible time, core time, flexible time in organization. So this means that the core time is most important in the organization. Employees must present in their time in the organization. There is no excuse. But during the flexi time, you can go to home, you can go to market, but yet you are still needs to perform your job, complete the task which is demanded by the organization. So that's how you can understand the meaning of the flexi time in the organizations. So is there any option for flexible work schedules for the employees? Is it fairly embedded within the policy matter, or is a kind of favoritism? There are two possibilities. So if you have a policy matter in your organization for this flexi time, this means that this is equitable to everyone. So everyone have this flexi time and this core time, and they know core time is the most important time, that no one has to be reserved. But this during the flexi time, they can be they can do something, but still they need to complete the required time of the week. So if this is a policy matter, that's fine, and everyone enjoys and enhances their motivation level. But if this is not part and parcel of the policy matter, so there could be dangers of favoritism. As a manager, you can provide this flexi time to someone and not to some other. So that is the danger. Here we will look at employee involvement. Employee involvement in terms of what kind of involvement an employee needs in his or her job. So that is a participative process that uses the entire capacity of the employees, and it is designed to encourage increased commitment to the organization's success. Because of this entire capacity of the employees, you are, through your involvement, through the involvement of the employee, you enhance the capacity of that employee. And it is because of this commitment that you need to uh, increase the commitment. You need to uh, help the employee to get the desired results through this sort of commitment. So that is the employee involvement. How you ensure, what kind of the things you ensure that employees are involved in their job. They understand the nature of the job. They know the goals of the job. They know the alternative work arrangements in the organization. At the same time, they know how to focus on their job without losing its essence, in order to achieve the organization's success. Some of examples: a process in which subordinates share a significant degree of decision making power with their immediate supervisors. For example, in participative management, you can see the term participative management. So you share a particular kind of decision making, that you, in the job participation, you are given the liberty, you are given the freedom to make decisions. But here you share those decisions. Whatever the decisions you at your own level, those decisions are shared with your immediate supervisor, and that helps you to get some sort of feedback from your supervisor. So if you say, see, this is what my job is all about, and I have taken this particular decision, and so can you give me your advice, how you see this particular decision? So by sharing this decision with your immediate boss, so you can get a kind of feedback, you can get a kind of support. So that will enhance the performance, your performance. If the supervisor says, perfect, you have taken a very right decision, and you go with your own decision. So this helps the employee to enhance the performance. Similarly, there are three important perspectives you can look at: representative participation, work council participation, board representative participation. For example, when we say representative participation, workers participate in organizational decision making through a small group of representative employees, like union leaders, you can say. So how those union leaders can participate in organizational decision making, and as the representative of the workers. So how that enables them to enhance their individuals job performance. If you have some sort of challenges, so you can share those challenges with the higher ups, and those representatives become your voice in decision making. One thing is your own involvement, that you share your decisions with your supervisor and you get feedback and you can enhance, you can solve your problem. That is one level. Another level is representative participation. That is a kind of there are for example mm, dishwashers, or the cleaners, or the housekeeping department in your organization. If the housekeeping department has some problems, and their representative sits in the organizational decision making body, and that person shares those problems, and this means that their voice is heard in the decision making. Similarly, group of nominated or elected employees who must be consulted when management makes a decision involving personnel. So that is called work councils. So therefore, in other words, you can say unions, other in organizations, or if you say in the light of the university, so we have senate, so faculty representatives. Recently we have an election and we have selected two representatives out of the 200, more than 200 faculty members. So we have selected two members, one from male and one from female. So if those seats in the senate, so this sort of nominated or elected representatives make wise decisions about the faculty members. Similarly, board representatives, again a form of the representative participation. Employees sit on a company's board of directors and represent the interest of the firm or the employees. So that's another way. So quality circle, a group of workers or the employees who meet regularly to discuss their quality problems, investigate causes, recommend solutions, and take corrective actions. So this is another a kind of group, a kind of you can say a council, where the people sit together, identify those problems in the organization, and investigate what could be the reasons of those things, and how can they find solutions for those kind of the problems. So all these kind of things which are linking with the employee involvement programs and the motivation theories have some sort of linkages, because you involve people to enhance their motivation. The logic behind involvement, the logic behind providing flexi time, the logic behind providing alternative job arrangements, the logic behind empowerment, and all these kind of the thing is to link with how you engage an employee in his or her work with the highest level of motivation. So what the motivation theories talk about, and what these employee engagement or involvement programs are designed for. So is there any relationship in between these two things? What kind of the outcomes will be there in the form of the performance of the employees? So you can understand. So two important theories. For example, the X factor theory, Y factor theory, as earlier we discussed, and another theory that is called employee needs theory, that is ERG theory. So how this theory um, is focusing on the needs of the employees, people-centered approach to motivation. So these all kind of the things help employees to understand the nature of their work, to make wise decisions, provide enough space for them to share their views, have their voice in the decision making, and provide enough support in the form of feedback, in the form of providing the resources which they need, and encouragement which they highly required while performing their task. So all these kind of the things help those employees to enhance their performance for the success of the organization. So whatever the managers are doing in the organization, that all makes a sense that this is for their success of the organization, that is based on improved performance of the employees. So what would be the managerial implications for all doing this? This means that to motivate employees, you need to recognize individual differences. Individuals are the people who are there in the organization with different qualifications, with different backgrounds, with different knowledge domains, and with different set of skills, and at the same time their own behaviors. So, so you need to understand that in a holistic manner. So use goals and feedback. What are the goals of the organization? What kind of the feedback you are providing to these individuals to enhance their level of performance? Allow employees to participate in decisions that affect them in their performance when they perform their jobs. So what kind of decisions they are making, how you enable them to make decisions, what kind of the support is there. So this is how you can look at that. Link rewards to performance. We will discuss the reward later on. So check the reward system for the equity. So is the system of rewards are based on equity or not? So you need to understand that. So these are the implications. So a manager needs to focus on and needs to understand this logic. So this is how you can understand how this organization enables employee, provide employee a sort of work arrangement, so that enables them to enhance their motivation level, and that motivation level leads to perform their job at highest level in line with the goals of the work. So you as an excellent manager, you need to understand what kind of the participation, what kind of the empowerment, what kind of involvement enable individuals with different knowledge, with different sort of skills and expertise, help them to enhance their motivation level and improve the performance in the organization.